Thank you. Yes, I'm Sture Holmberg. I'm a professor at KTH, the KTH Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm, Sweden. And I'm the principal investigator of this project from the KTH. We have a long experience from working with low temperature heating in buildings. We have done 5 PhD work, including Qian here with me. He was one of the PhD students working with this, and that's why we are so closely related. Now we want to try it in reality, and we have a new PhD student, also including Henrik here with us today. And with him we now want to implement the technology for low temperature heating and high temperature cooling.
Thank you. I'm a project manager from Uponor and working mostly closely with KTH and together in the part of heating and cooling solutions. And Uponor is a Finnish company, and we are one of the biggest global players in the field of low temperature heating and high temperature cooling. Yeah, together with KTH, we focus on this area and for the Geofit retrofit.
We have been working quite a lot with heat pumps at the university and made research around all the problematics with how to improve the heat pumps. In this project we have all the important part. We have the geo part, the borehole, we have the heat pump, and we have the distribution of the heat and to the building and the cooling to the building. What is important for people to know is that when we optimize this situation, the heat pump wants to take as high temperature as possible from the borehole, and it wants to give it distributed at a low temperature as possible to get a high coefficient of performance. We have been working with this. How can you distribute the heat at a low temperature to a building and still people can stay in thermal comfort? And cooling, yes. You can discuss it.
Yes, of course, and from an industry perspective, and our concept is really to give high thermal comfort or indoor environment quality in general, but with an efficient solution that is based on renewables.
We, from the university, we think that there is still a gap of knowledge, how available this technology is and how good the technology, how much it has been developed. So we think there is a gap of information and knowledge around which should be improved in the project. Also, of course, there are competitors, other systems coming with their solutions. So of course the information there also is important, that we can show the heat pump systems and our concept for the users.
Mm-hmm. And from an industry perspective, I think one of the biggest barriers is that most of the time now the solutions are very much focusing on case-to-case basis. So there's no more systematic solution. And this is also another reason we think this project is very interesting, because we want to develop our prefabricated system for the heating and cooling solutions. So it will not be a case-to-case study. And another thing is that for heat pump system, particularly for geothermal heat pump, very often people didn't optimize the whole system and the integration. For example, the heating and cooling system sometimes are oversized, and this is also another focus for the project. We focus on the integration of what Sture just said, the different parts of the components.
At the university we mainly focus on the scientific part. And here we have our research is called fluid and climate theory. So with the PhD students involved and so on, of course we look upon what new technology, how can the technology be improved and so on. And then we hope that this, in the close collaboration with industry, can lead to innovation via the companies with us, for instance, and Uponor here, in close contact.
Yes, and based on the scientific findings that KTH did, And our aim, of course, is to strengthen the market for future modularized low temperature heating and high temperature cooling solution, particular for retrofitting projects. And of course, we also are involved in the development of business models and also how we can transfer the technology into a bigger market across Europe. Yeah.
From our point of view, our research, we are very concerned about that the occupants in the buildings will have a better thermal comfort. We should not only have the energy savings, which is of course the other important parameter here, to have energy savings in the project, but also, and as important, is that we can create a better indoor environment, for instance, with our cooling and heating systems. These are very important things from our research point of view. Yeah.
And from a practical perspective, for industries, it's very important that, of course, we focus on reducing the costs for geothermal retrofitting. And another challenge for retrofitting project is that usually it's not easy to be installed. That's the reason we want to focus, and this is also the nice part of the project. We not only focus on energy efficient solutions, but also it's easy to be installed. So we have off-site manufacturing and on-site assembly. So this is a whole system, an integrated system with modular levels. So yeah, we focus on the installation part, but also the cost part.
If we start looking at from on Scandinavian way, we have our competitors there. If you look heat pump, we have heat pumps, but we have also district heating. So many systems are today also developed for district heating, and nowadays also developed low temperature heating in district heating. So this is one concept. The other is to have a heat pump to drill your own boreholes and things. So there is kind of competition there, and I think a good system here, good results, successful results here, will give better chances for this system with borehole, heat pump and low temperature supply to survive on the market. This is one thing. And of course, from an environmental point of view, with efficient heat pumps, the CO2, for instance, emissions and so on in the environment will be lower and so on. So of course we need to work for this environment aspect, and this is important nationally for this also.
And I think we will have a strong impact on the existing building market because, for example, the modularized low temperature heating and high temperature cooling has been implemented in different new buildings or future net zero buildings, but still there is a gap both from the knowledge perspective and the market, that how we should do it in existing buildings, in retrofitting projects. So this is a market we want to address. And another thing is that we have 5 pilot buildings, all the way from cold climate to Mediterranean climate. So we will have heating and cooling. So we will address different building types and different European climate. So this is a quite big market we will impact.